The DHHS Healthy Living Programs page to learn more. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Welcome into the LIBA Business Hour, sponsored by Nats to Tassili, highlighting local independent businesses in and around Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, LIBA Executive Director Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
And good morning. You're listening to the LIBA Business Hour. It's kind of a cold Saturday out there. I'm Travis Filing. I'm the CEO of LIBA, and with me, as always, Gary Tharnish from Home Design Real Estate Group. I got it.
You did.
I
so
totally
good.
nailed it. That only took a year.
6 months plus a year. Plus, it's going to be a beautiful day, though. Heat wave. It's going to be like 41.
Is it seriously?
Yeah.
See, I don't even watch the weather anymore.
I just Dallas.
It's like, yeah, the weather's going to happen. Why do I waste my time watching to see what the heck is going on?
I know. Like, if I was in charge of the newscast, it'd be like, you have 30 seconds and you just get on and go, we have a 50% chance of anything today. Have a great one. We'll see you later.
Yes, exactly.
And still get a raise.
Yeah. Well, our guest today, actually old friend of both of ours, Lori Fraser, who owns Doorstep Diner Catering and also Country Sliced Ham and Cafe. And where's the ham? Where's the, did you bring us breakfast this morning?
I did not.
Yeah, you could have hammed it up.
I could have hammed it up.
My goodness. Well, this interview's over.
Nice chat with you.
Thank you so much for coming in. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. Thank you for asking.
Good. And so, so just to give the listeners, Gary and I have known you for quite some time. And you and I worked together for a while down at Transformation Marketing. And you started Doorstop Diner Catering. And that was in, my gosh,
2015.
Was it that long? Oh,
this is
my
our
God,
10th
we're
year.
getting old.
10-year anniversary.
10th year anniversary.
Unbelievable.
That
I was going to say
flew.
2019, 2020, because it just feels like it just all goes so quick. So 2015.
2015.
Well, congratulations on 10 years. I remember when you started it because we were still working together, and I'm like, oh man, let's take a look at this menu. And there was like a taco, wasn't it like a taco pie kind of a thing, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of food. I mean, it was a lot. We ate, like kings off of this one dish for like 2 or 3 meals. It was fantastic. So yeah, it's so exciting to see the business grow.
And I like the meals you can pick up on Tuesday for like 4 people or whatever. And, I'm a household of just 2, so we can get that to last when we pick that up. That's a great thing that you have going too. You still do that every Tuesday, right?
Every
I get the
Tuesday.
email every Sunday.
Yep, every Tuesday.
How does somebody get onto your email list if they want to know your specials and things?
It's a secret, actually.
It's a secret.
Yeah, we don't divulge it.
Is
no,
it like it's a secret.com?
It's secret.com. No, we're actually redesigning all of our websites. And so there'll be a really nice, easy way to join that list. Right now, I'm downloading off Square for my customer list. We're on social media. You can join it that way.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Very good. So
Great.
Just get on Facebook and search you. And so when's the website going to come out?
So the exciting thing about being in your 10th year is you look back and you look at all the successes you've had, all the failures, all the challenges. And I'm a big fan of sometimes you can fix things from within and sometimes you got to blow it up.
Mm-hmm.
We're blowing up our entire menu this year. We're already in the plans. We're meeting with some reps next week. We've got some local people coming on board to provide some goods for us. So that website will not launch until my chefs have had a chance to go through Test Kitchen. So my goal was end of January. That's not going to happen. I'm optimistically hoping for end of February.
Okay.
Yep.
I want to start a show in Lincoln called Test Kitchen.
Test
and
Kitchen.
tell us a little bit about that.
So Test Kitchen is really, really fun. So when you are in your own kitchen and you are on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and you see this great recipe and you execute it for your family of 4, that's easy. But when you're a caterer, you have to think about how you scale that. And then there's all these other factors that come in, like how much labor is going to be involved in scaling this product. Is it going to transport well? Is it going to represent well with the client once we arrive? So Test Kitchen gives us an opportunity to work through all of those things as a team so that we're making really, really good decisions. The last thing I want to do is do some TikTok thing and then get it out to a client and find out, oh, this isn't going to hold. This doesn't look good. It's not going to taste good. So that is our process to kind of work through all of those little details to make sure that the great idea that I have can actually be executed by our chefs and then brought out by our team, and then our clients are going to love it.
So where is this? So you have a test kitchen, you own one. How does that work? Where's this test kitchen?
So it's my commercial kitchen.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
So I agree with the scaling of things. So at
Mhm.
Christmas, it was like, oh, there's going to be a whole bunch of us. So I need to triple this recipe. That does not always just work.
No.
No.
And I was like, okay, well, this didn't work.
Right. Which makes no
So,
sense.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
get that.
Yep.
Well, and I also know, having helped with caterers over the years of being involved in event business and everything too. The other thing is, like, when it leaves your kitchen, it's still kind of cooking, right? Because
Yes.
I mean, it's in a warmer till it gets there. So
Yes.
you really have to test all of that out.
Yes.
So do you have items that you've had that were there in 2015 that are still here now because they're a staple and people always want them? Or
Absolutely.
okay, what are those?
Basil pesto chicken. Hands down.
Mm.
Hands down.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I've had that. from
That
your
is the
company
one
many times.
item that has consistently stayed on our menu. We make it probably 3 to 5 times a week for clients. It is fantastic.
Mm.
Mhm.
So a lot of your business, you do catering like events, but you still do like the freezer meals, right?
Yes. So we do corporate catering, we do event catering, we do wedding catering. We're all over the place. Basically, we tell people, and I hate this from being a former marketing employee.
I won't listen
when
to
you
this
look
part.
to define your target market, you never say everyone, because that's not true.
Right.
But in my industry, everyone does need to eat. They do. So I do have a market that is pretty darn broad. So I need to be able to hit all those different veins of the way people want to eat, when they want to eat, how they want to eat. So it allows for a lot of creative flexibility. The Chef's Choice meals are definitely a loss leader. Where can you go in Lincoln and get a meal for a family of 4 for $30? You cannot. You can't even do it at the drive-thru. And these are high quality chef created meals. We don't batch cook. We don't cook on spec. We don't make a bunch of food hoping people order it. We wait for the orders to come in, and then we actually cook for those people that have ordered. So that kind of differentiates us in the market. So the chef's table, you can get in meals for 2, you can get meals for 4. It's all a la carte. That was another thing we found, is that our clients wanted to sub things. We would say, well, here's your basil pesto chicken with green beans and garlic mashed potatoes. And they're like, well, I don't really want the potatoes. I want rice. And so we were getting a lot of one-off requests. So we ditched our model, came up with a la carte. So now we offer 4 to 5 entrees, about 4 veggies, 4 to 5 carbs. We have salad add-ons, dessert, anything you'd like. And so people can really mix and match for their own dietary and for things that they like. So that's been really helpful. Can you freeze them? Absolutely. They do go out the door cold with reheating instructions. That was another thing. We used to send them out hot, but by the time people pick them up, if they're running late, they're sitting in my warmer. Of course, the quality is declining. Once it leaves my building, I lose all control of my food. I don't know if they're stopping to make errands or get a kid
Sure.
or what
Yeah.
they're doing. So we just kind of ditched the hot model and went all to cold with reheating instructions. And that's been working out really well. So when you're getting your product, yes, it's cold. You can freeze it. It's pretty easy.
Yeah. And I love that's a real lesson in business, is one of those where you start with a model and it works. And then next thing you know, can you give us rice with this instead of potatoes? And you go, yeah, because you want to please your customer. And then before too long, you are so fragmented
Mhm.
that you're probably losing money because it's like, oh my goodness, we have to go. I don't have rice. I'm sure your rice would be a staple, but I don't have this particular product. And now I got to go get it. And I don't want to upset this. That
Mhm.
can be tough. And that's one of the things in business that, you have to learn as you go and go, okay, we need to do this a lot differently. So-
It's all about economy of scale. And I remember about 2017, a competitor who we really, really like came in the market with an amazing catering menu for box lunches. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, they're going to smoke me. I am so jealous. I want this menu. And as we looked at it and dug it apart, we realized you don't have economy of scale. This ingredient is only used on this one sandwich. This one is only used here. These are perishable products. You can't hold these things. So whenever we're in test kitchen, whenever I am on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, getting ideas, that's the number one guiding principle. Economy of scale. Do I already own it? Am I using it elsewhere? What is the perishability of that product? What do I think the popularity is going to be? I mean, it all comes down to using what you have on hand and maximizing, because in our industry, profit margins are the slimmest. They are
Sure.
the
Mhm.
absolute slimmest. So you really have to watch it. One of my GM said, watch the pennies and the dollars will come. Watch the pennies and the dollars will come. And so that has been our mantra since last July, is watch the pennies, because every single penny adds up so quickly. And in our industry, you got to watch the pennies.
You
So,
know,
oh, go ahead.
Tuesday will be the 4-year anniversary of my father's funeral.
Mhm.
And it was COVID time. So you couldn't have lunch at a church or
Mhm.
anything. And I have 78 first cousins. So we're going to have a large amount of people coming. Now, fortunately, 4 years ago on that day, it was warm, but we ordered boxed lunches and had the gathering in the park. It worked out great because it was beautiful. Like, it almost got up to 60 degrees that day in the middle
Oh,
of
wow.
January. But those boxed lunches were spectacular.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But they were tasty. The flavors were good. It wasn't just mayonnaise, cheese, and stuff,
Mhm.
and it just worked out really, really, really well. You guys delivered them. They were there when we got there. It was pretty amazing.
They're super convenient. They're beautiful. And again, what sets us apart in the market is if you're going to order a boxed lunch, you're not going to get bread. You're going to get ciabatta. You're not going to get mayonnaise. You're getting our aioli, our pesto aioli. You're not going to get like just a regular mustard on your ham. You're getting our stone ground mustard. So we kind of elevate the flavor profile,
Right.
and it makes a huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
Huge difference when you take a bite. The turkey box lunch is my favorite because I love our basil pesto aioli. I just love it.
Well, I remember once I just ordered we do a birthday lunch at work every quarter.
Mhm.
And, I'm on that committee, of course, and
No way.
try to get off of it, but, and no, I'm kidding. But, we will sometimes, we get food from different places and stuff. But one time I ordered a big salad from you, and
Mhm.
everybody, I still get people like, where's that salad from that you got? I'm like, Doorstep Diner Catering, give them a call, and they cater. So, that's something to keep in mind too. Like, it's easy for offices to call up and they'll call, Panera, or not to push out Panera or whatever, but any business,
Mhm.
and they're like, that's where I have to go for my catering. We have 25 people to feed at lunch, and that's something you do really well.
Thank you.
But I
Yeah.
don't think that people just, you always have to promote that, correct? I mean, it's not
Constantly.
like, yeah,
Yeah, you gotta send a consumer a message at least 7 times before it resonates.
yes.
So I am a Facebook, I don't even know what to call me. I'm crazy on Facebook. I'm posting all the time. You talked about 2020, and that was an interesting time for our industry. We had stuff on the books. We were rocking and rolling. We had lots of weddings planned, lots of things. It was destined to be our best year financially ever. We invested in a hood. We put a walk-in in. For those of you that aren't in the industry, a walk-in is going to run you $25K minimum.
Oh, yeah.
And that was in 2020. We just got that thing finished and the world was shut down. So our walk-in sat there empty, and we would walk down the row of our staff lockers with their names, and our building was quiet. It was crickets. And so you had to find different ways to get to your consumers because nobody was in their offices. Everybody was home. So for me, where I'm catering and I want people to be in their office and at work so I can bring them food, it really changed our market. My rule on social media was I never friended you unless I knew you. I had to meet you in person. In 2020, I changed that. In 2020, I friended everybody on the planet because I had to extend my reach, and it was the number one communication tool I could use to still get to people. So we talked a lot about exactly what you did. You can still have these gatherings with social distance. We can bring you the individually packaged meals. We can have, if you're having an event, like we had a couple people with banquets that had to cancel, and instead we had them pick up meals almost like a drive-through from us. So they still had the meal that they had ordered for their banquet. People came in, we were outside, we brought them to their cars, they took them home, and they jumped on Zoom. So they were still able to have their banquets. It just looked and felt different. So I think, again, as a small business owner, when things like 2020 hit, or, election years come through, or, wind, weather, whatever. I mean, we're affected by every single anomaly that happens. You have to be smart enough to know what is the next thing? How can I still accommodate my guests the way they need to be accommodated? So back to what you said, your market will tell you what they want. They will tell you what to do. They will tell you who they are. So I love it when people say, I need to define my mission and my vision. Great, go ahead and do that. But if that's not what your clients think of you, then you've missed the mark.
Right.
So
Right.
we've never gone through that process. We know what our mission and vision is, but we let our clients tell us who we are.
One thing I've liked about you, there
Yeah.
might be two,
Just the one.
there might be three. I don't know. I lost count. Is that you have a great ability to change and adapt, which people need to do in business.
Mhm.
It's really, really important. So like you said, you can have your vision, you can have your mission, keep them
Yes.
broad, because if you don't change and adapt constantly, you're out. And a lot of businesses, it's very difficult to do that. Like I've mentioned on this show before, I hired a company in 1995 because we were fledgling, when I had my flower shop then. And she comes in and interviews all of the staff, and we pick our top 10 things we think we're good at. And the number one thing we thought we were good at was service. We're great at service. We're fun. We answer your questions. We make cool stuff for you and send it out and take care of your anniversaries and birthdays. So she says, okay, now give me your credit card. I'm going to take 12 of your customers out. Some corporate, everyday, just a good, well-rounded group of people, and ask them these same questions. Service did not get on our top 10 with our customers. So she asked some questions, and it was like, well, I called at 1:10 the other day, and your person was like, well, we cut off deliveries at 1 because, to get around town. Well, my anniversary's day, I forgot it. Oh, I'm sorry. We could send it tomorrow. Yeah, that works in what world, right? Like you're already going to be in trouble, dude, if you forgot your anniversary, right? So anyway, we changed a lot. And that was the first time that I thought, your inner perception of your business can be completely different than your consumer's perception of your business.
Yes.
So that ability to change and adapt is important.
It's important. And, when we first started our company, it was just the two of us. It was our executive chef and my partner, Jeff, and then myself. And then we added a part-timer to help. But our theory was if you called us, we answered our phone. And if we were in a meeting or catering and we couldn't answer our phone, we would text you back right away and say, hey, we're catering, we're in a meeting, we're going to get back to you in an hour. Same thing with email. Even when emails come through on weekends, unless it's something I really can deal with on Monday, I will email back and say, our offices are closed. I have you on my calendar to call you on Monday. So we did have someone come in kind of to work through our leadership team a little bit. And what they found was that the number one thing consumers said is that we're responsive. Yeah, we are. We answer our phone time and time again. I'll be sitting at my desk and an inquiry pops up. And the first thing I do is pick up that phone. I know people time block and they're like, I only answer email in these hours. I only do phone in these. In my industry, you're on Google and you are going down the list.
Yeah.
And if I don't get you, someone else will. And I love all my competitors. Everyone out there is doing great work, but it's competition,
Yeah.
and I want you. So I will pick up the phone, and literally the first thing people will say is, "Oh my goodness, I didn't expect a call this quick. I'm sitting here. Why not?"
Yeah.
And it's a great time to build a relationship and have a conversation. Where a lot of feedback I get is, "Well, I put an inquiry in elsewhere, and it was 2 weeks later.
Oh,
I never
geez.
heard from them." No. We are responsive. We pick up our phones.
I also think these devices we all have in our hands, that it's amazing how many people forget that this is actually a phone and you can answer it.
Right.
So in my business, talk about realtors. I mean, they're a dime a dozen, right? On average, everybody knows about 7 to 8 realtors. So you need to be answering your phone. It's crazy how many people don't. I've had 4 transactions in my 3 years that were simply a telephone call where I answered my phone and they said, thank you. I have 3 friends that are realtors. I called all 3 of them. They haven't answered my phone or called me back. Can you help me? Yeah. I mean, it's crazy that little thing is so important.
And the text thing drives me insane, right? Because if you text me and I'm in a meeting, I don't spend the rest of my meeting going, oh, I have a text. Make sure you check, because I will silence my phone, put it in my pocket, because the worst thing in the world you can do is when you're sitting there with a client or whatever, even if you're out on a date or sitting with your wife, you pick up the phone and you respond to a text and you go, this phone, whoever's on the other end of this device is more important than you.
Right.
And then all these people will send text, and then here comes another text. Here comes another text. Well, guess what? I'm working. It's a phone. It dials. It's kind of the old fashioned type phone. I will answer. Call me.
And, and that's something else that we do that's different. You can go to a lot of places and just order catering online, and that's great and easy. Awesome. We don't have that capability outside of our chef's meal pickups. Those are all online. But if you want to order catering, you either have to hit me up on email through a request on the website, or you have to call me. Those are the 2 mediums I use. You can text me. I have no idea who you are. I get random texts. Lori, I need catering Tuesday. Who are you? I don't know. And I always tell my clients, the reason why we prefer phone and email is we're a small company. What if something were to happen to me? I am the only one that has access to my social media. I'm the only one that carries my phone. And case in point, when I broke my neck on August 28th of 2023, I was down for the count. I only could do about 2 hours of work a day. So when you're texting me and I'm hopped up on hydrocodone laying on my couch watching Lindsay Lohan movies, I can't serve you the way I want to serve you. So we do restrict people to phone and email. And even if you call me in, I am going to be in an email typing up the notes as we talk, and I'm sending it to you right away. Those are the best forms of communication because I do have multiple people in my business that have access to my email. And so if I am down for the count or I'm traveling or I've broken my neck, God forbid, my assistant and my business partner are there and you don't even know anything happened to me. They just pick up the ball and roll. So we do allow that. The other reason why we don't have extensive online ordering for catering is capability and capacity. It's great if you have a franchise with 1 million people. I'll just use Hy-Vee for an example. They've got so many locations, so many people. It's easy for them to do it. But for me, I have a small team. So if you were to order online from me on a day where I am 100% slammed and I don't have a delivery driver, I'm not going to call you up and say no. The other reason why we really like email and phone is that my basic premise of food is that you build community and relationships by breaking bread. And you are obviously having this event for a reason. So tell me about your event. Great that you want box lunches. Who's coming? What kind of people are they? What's going to resonate best? People are always surprised when I ask those questions because they're like, what? I'm like, I can do anything you want. I have a group of health coaches getting together. They ordered a taco bar. They need significant modification. It went through another person versus me. I called them up and I said, why didn't you just order this healthy meal that I can make for you? We didn't know we can do that. That's the beauty of a caterer. That is the absolute beauty is my culinary team can make anything you want, anything you want.
Well, we're going to have to go to break here. Thanks, Lori. This has been great. Looking forward to more conversation when we come back. And I want to ask you about restaurants, catering, and everything in January, February, and March.
Got it.
It's a tough time. Let's chat about that a little bit.
We'll do it.
All right. Well, you're listening to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket FM, and we'll be right back.
Men's health is not a game at Limitless Male. It's serious medicine. We're not a West Coast franchise with a one-size-fits-all approach. Every man is different. Some men require more or less testosterone to feel their best. At Limitless Male, we safely monitor your labs and symptoms along the way and adjust your treatment as needed. The only thing cookie cutter about Limitless Male, the incredible results men brag about. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats. When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket. and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by Ascend Aesthetics.
And you're back on the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket. We're talking with Lloyd Fraser, who owns Doorstep Diner Catering and Country Sliced Ham and Cafe. And so we were talking a little bit about COVID. I got lost when we were... All the good conversations sometimes seem to happen during the break. But one thing that when you go into your test kitchen, do you always time how long things take to make? Yes. Because labor's got to be your biggest expense, I would imagine.
Labor's enormous. To give you an idea of what it takes to keep my doors open, I need to pull in $65K a month. A month to meet my labor, my overhead, my food costs, all the other things I have to pay that people don't think about when they order a sandwich. I mean, I got to get my windows cleaned. That's a window washer. Right. I have a grease trap, which if you're not in my industry, you're like, what's that? It's gross. I got to have it pumped out every month. There's all these things that add up that are so expensive that go behind it. So yeah, that bottom line is something you have to watch very, very carefully.
So when you start making specific dishes, do you go, gosh, this is delicious, but at the cost that I would have to charge, I can't make it available.
Yes.
Or scale.
Or scale.
Yeah. That's another really big thing.
Yeah,
for catering, for
absolutely.
Sure.
I mean, there are some things like I love lamb. I adore it. It's my favorite protein. I would love to put it on our menu. The fact is people won't order it, but B, it's expensive.
Yeah.
It is expensive. Right. So we're always looking at, what's the cost? What's the feasibility? Can we scale it? And can we afford to make it?
Right. Yeah, and are people going to buy it at this price?
Absolutely. Like steak right now, I use a local butcher. I am running $12 to $13 per person additional if somebody wants steak, and people freak out. But I'm like, have you been to Misty's? Have you been to Texas Roadhouse? This is what a steak costs.
Yeah.
And there also is a huge misnomer for some reason out there that people think catering should be a lot cheaper. Well, I buy from the same suppliers that the restaurants in Lincoln do. So no, I don't get some magic discount. It doesn't exist. I mean, this is my cost.
Both of my daughters are dairy free and one also gluten and a couple of other things. And they never, I remember saying many years ago when we found all this out, I was like, we're going to a wedding and you're not going to ask for a special meal or if we need to bring something, we'll bring it, whatever. They can usually always find something that they can eat. But I know a lot of catering menus have just gone to gluten-free as much as possible, just because you're going to have those people that ask it. But I'm involved in a big event that's going to take place February 1st. And they specifically ask if you have any dietary restrictions. I'm like, that's just such a nightmare because I can't have peanuts or asparagus. I mean, the menu becomes a nightmare. In catering, you're making a meal for 400 people. And if you have 25 people, you have to do one-off plates and run to the store and get something special. There has to be an upcharge for that, I imagine. How does that work?
So our brides have been really great to work with when it comes to dietary. About a couple years ago, the Wedding Wire, the Knot, they're nationwide sites for weddings. They were really encouraging people to ask for dietary. So we were coming up against brick walls with labor and cost on all of this dietary. Our corporate clients are still out there asking for it. I had someone that wanted a kosher breakfast burrito. Well, there are no kosher kitchens in Lincoln. And in order to have a kosher kitchen, I got to pay someone to come in, completely clean, reorganize all my meat and dairy, separate it out, rent a walk-in space or a reach-in so I can store stuff separately, then make one burrito and then put it all back together. So I called the client. I said, your burrito is going to be about $2,000. And they said, what? I said, this is what it takes to have a kosher kitchen. So it's all about educating your client.
But the burrito will be delicious.
It'll be delicious. So I always walk people through, if you're avoiding gluten, if you're avoiding soy, if you're avoiding dairy, whatever your dietary is, I tell people your guests have been to weddings, they've been to restaurants, they've been to events. They know their body, they know what they can have, they know what they can't. When you ask for dietary, you're getting people like me, who I'm trying to lose weight. So I don't eat a lot of fat, carbs, sodium. I don't drink. My life is awful, but those are choices I'm making for my body. Those are choices. So I don't expect to go to a huge event with 400 people and have a custom meal. But in our society, especially in the United States of America, we are special and we like to be accommodated. So that has a huge cost with it. So the way I explain it to clients is, I am batching out your meal. Let's choose your meal carefully because I have so many things that are dairy-free, soy-free, gluten-free. We can make these decisions up front. But if you choose a menu like our basil pesto chicken, it's going to have dairy. It will always have dairy. It is a cream sauce. Yes, I can make it with a soy milk. It's not going to be good. It's not going to thicken the same way. But if I have to have a chef stop what they're doing, go buy retail and come back and make one meal in isolation, I'm $30 additional charge for that labor, that time, and the food cost. It gets expensive really fast. And when clients hear that, they go, oh my gosh, no, let's choose a different menu. Don't order a mac and cheese bar if you can't have gluten and dairy.
Right.
Because gluten-free pasta does not transport. It is disgusting.
And that's
My
one of
chefs
those,
won't do it.
That's one of those things too. It's really dangerous when you make a meal that is uber specific because those people who have those dietary needs, they have found the really, really good stuff.
Yes.
And if you serve them a bad meal, guess what?
Guess what?
I've always said the people who love you, they don't tell anybody about you.
Yeah.
Word of mouth is it's just a phrase that people throw around. We do word of mouth. No, you don't. The word of mouth that does happen is if you get a bad meal, right? If we went down the road and we bought a sandwich and it was good, we'd go, hey, that was a good sandwich, and off you go. But if it was bad, you tell everybody.
Yeah. It's called word of anger.
That's one thing I've always said in marketing was we've actually fired clients because they'll go, oh, I have this idea for a commercial. You remember these days. And it's the dumbest dang thing you've ever heard in your life. And you have to tell them no.
Yeah.
Because if I do it, and then it goes on TV or on the radio and somebody goes, who does your marketing? Oh, transformation marketing. Okay, mental note. Never hire, right?
There goes
because it's a turn. And so that's a struggle too, is telling you have to get to a point in your business where you're willing to tell customers no.
Food stations are super popular and we do them. And people want different stations at their event. Great. They want a taco bar. They want a mac and cheese bar. They want the salad bar. They want these 4 or 5 beautiful stations. Okay, fine. So there are other people in town that will say, we don't need to do 100% of your guest list at every station. My policy is I got to do at least 75%. I had a client talk me in. She had 100 people. She said, oh, let's do 33, 33, 33. Well, the most popular station ran out and the guests were coming to me angry because I didn't bring enough food. This is what the client ordered. So again, it always comes back to education. I will do this, but keep in mind, my staff are going to bear the brunt of this. Kids meals. Oh, the bane of my existence. Can you do a kids meal? I can, but you know what's going to happen? Every kid's going to go through the adult line with their parents and get food. Then they're going to go to the kid line and take more food and throw it away. There are starving people in Lincoln. We do not like throwing food away. At the end of the day, I'll take your money. I'll do what you want. I will. But it's all about how I guide them. What happens when you do a kid station is every adult then walks over and says, well, I want this. And when my staff explains, well, these are for the kids, wait for it. But I'm a kid at heart. Ha, 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 ha. We hear that consistently. So I always guide my clients that we can do this, but this is what it looks like. This is the reality of what's going to happen. Your staffing cost is going to go up. Your food cost. This is what's going to happen. So if you want this dream, I will make it happen. And I guess maybe I'm stupid because I'm talking clients out of spending money. But at the end of the day, I want them to be really, really happy with the decision they've made. And if I'm not there to help guide them about here's what's going to happen. I mean, if you've got a venue packed to the gills for a plated wedding, it's going to take me longer because I physically can't get to the tables because the chairs are touching. Or if you've got a ton of children running around, that slows me down because my equipment's heavy and hot. So it's walking them through all these moving pieces that they don't know. I do it every day, every day.
You know, one thing I like about you is that you will
Just
give
one thing?
an
No, we're
honest
up to
answer.
two
We're
now.
up to two
We
now.
got two
Okay,
now.
It took 20 minutes. Gosh. Okay. Well, the second thing I like about you is that I know if I ask you a question, you're going to give me the honest answer, not what I want to hear.
Yes.
And I like that. I also know in conversation, you'll break in and go, well, wait a minute, look at the other side of this. And I remember having a conversation with you a couple of years ago. I was like, I was at XYZ restaurant and I couldn't believe it took this long to get, and it was this and that, you know. And then when I was all done, you let me finish.
No,
which
I
is a
waited.
miracle for you. But you waited. You let me finish. You go, okay, Gary, but have you thought it's January and restaurants' margins are very low. Everybody in food, their margins are very low. It's hard to find staff. People don't want to work. You can't get them in there. You have to have a little bit of grace, especially at this time. This season is very difficult for the restaurant business, correct?
Yes. So January, February are notoriously very slow for hospitality. And also July. July is yeah, because everyone goes on vacation because of LPS going back to school and they're doing stuff at home. Catering normally tanks around the big holidays as well. So when you're thinking, everyone's like, oh, are you busy with Super Bowl? No, because everyone's making their taco dip at home. Are you busy at 4th of July? No, everyone's doing potluck and grilling. So there are some things you just need to plan for as a business owner. And January, February are things we plan for with our cash flow. So we make sure we bank and have enough in our savings account to make that $65K because we know things are coming. We know we have things. I mean, I'm booking into 2027 right now. So things are there. Things are on the books. It's just these 2 months are really, really, really slow. It's crickets. I went out to an establishment last night with a group. And if we hadn't been there, they would have had 3 people. 3 people. And it's a locally owned business that I adore and love. I am in a bunch of networking groups, but one of the groups I love the most is a tips group. And the reason why I love it is it's about 22 people. Every Friday we have breakfast. We run around the room and we talk about what we see. Businesses opening, closing, moving, dirt being moved. That's what we talk about. And I absolutely adore that group. Do I make money out of it with catering? Absolutely not. But it primes me as a resource and I know what's going on. So if you want to know what restaurants are in trouble right now, I know who they are. I'm not going to tell them on radio. I know who they are. Do I love them and patronize them? You bet I do. It kills my soul when I see a competitor go out of business. Now, does it mean more money for me? Maybe, but it doesn't matter because I know somebody out there was going through some struggles that were awful.
Yeah.
And they failed.
And I can't stress enough the importance of buying local.
Yes.
And that's something in your industry. I think. So I made a mistake, and I won't out this company, even though I think they're in Arizona or something, because right now it's all about easy, right? And so it's like, oh, I can get all these freezer meals, and they're all packaged by themselves, and they are shipped to you, and they sometimes have a weird texture, and sometimes or all the times taste awful. And I'm sitting here going, why am I going through the freezer aisle at the grocery store and buying the stuff that is mediocre at best and seems to be getting like there used to be there was a mac and cheese, and everybody listening who's bought the frozen mac and cheese 15, 20 years ago was dynamite. Not so good anymore because everything is getting kind of, I don't want to say dumbed down, but cheap down, because everybody's got margins. Why in the heck? And I'm sitting here going, why in the heck do I keep buying this stuff? And Lori's a friend. I bought stuff. Why am I not buying stuff from Lori?
Why?
I'm an idiot.
I'm
an idiot. Number. That's why. Yeah. Yes. You need to follow me to the grocery store and go, nope, I'll make that for you.
I do. So, we are a society of convenience, and COVID taught us to be a DoorDash society. They did. I mean, it's demand. Always get what I want now. We don't get out of our car at Target We order and they bring it to us.
Yep.
Same thing at the grocery store. We love the drive-through. I travel the world extensively. We are the only culture that does this. And then people are like, why are we so fat? Well, because everything is brought to us. I mean, it's just the way we are. It's okay. Love you all. Love you if you go to the drive-through. Love you if you're, at Target picking up your stuff curbside. That's fantastic. I mean, we all make choices based on our lives and what we need to do, but we are definitely a convenience-based society. If you open up my refrigerator right now, you're going to see raw salmon, my personal raw chicken. You're going to see lettuce. You're going to see vegetables. I don't own convenience food in my home. I just don't do it because it's so processed. It's disgusting. We talk about gluten all the time. You can go to Europe and eat bread and it's fine, but it's all the additives we put in our food. We've had these issues for years and years and years. So when you're going to very large corporate owned places, you're going to be getting commercially prepared food. That's what you're going to get. There's a place in town that has great soup. Everyone raves about it. It's frozen and brought in on a truck to them. Mine's made from scratch. I control it. I take a lot of food photography that shows people chopping onions and shows them chopping broccoli. We don't have any of that brought in pre-done for us. We believe that fresh is best. Now, do our bodies like sugar and sodium in food? Yes, we do. We love it. But our belief system is we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. So we just don't. We're going to always cook fresh.
I was in a meeting last spring in the middle of the afternoon, and it was at a large company, and there was a knock on the door, and the receptionist says, this was just delivered for, let's just say John Doe.
That's me.
Brings it in. John Doe, talk about using your phone at the meeting, ordered from a convenience store, which is it DoorDash or DealDash? I don't use any of that. So who brings it?
Yeah, Grubhub.
Grubhub, yeah.
Okay.
And he opens it up and it's a 32-ounce pop, Tic Tacs, and a donut.
Really?
I'm like, I don't know what you paid for that, but we're every come in a society that you can do that.
So, from a merchant point of view, we were all forced to do Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash during COVID. We had to do it.
Yeah.
So what the consumer doesn't understand is they see the price and then they see all the fees added on. They don't understand that delivery service socks me anywhere from 22 to 30% on your order.
On
22 to 30%.
Yeah.
Now
I didn't know
and
that.
doesn't sock you, it socks whoever ordered it. Because
it socks her too, because if she has a $10 item, DoorDash is going to take $30
no kidding.
on top of their fees.
Yes.
Well, we need to wrap up the radio show and open up a DoorDash business. My goodness.
So back in the day, we were allowed as retailers to actually escalate our DoorDash prices to cover that margin.
Yeah.
Then they came out like 2 years later and said, oh, no, you can't do that. You only can do it at 22%. Now it's 18%. So, these companies that are bringing you your food for convenience are really tapping into my bottom line. I mean, am I on DoorDash? Yes, I am. I have to do it.
Yeah, you kind of have to,
because the customer demands that I do it. But at the end of the day, I lose money on you. I do. And you're spending so much money. And when we talk about pay and salaries in this town and how hard it is to afford things and how hard it is to afford groceries, when you are on those online platforms and they are socking you all those fees, you can walk into my little ham store at 70th and O and get your sandwich. You can call ahead. You can order online and you're going to pay the price plus the tax. That's it.
And
that's crazy.
Yeah. But the minute you hit DoorDash on me, you've just paid probably double for the same food.
We need to open our own business. It's the Fat Kid Dash. You might be missing a few fries from your order when we're driving it over to your house, but we'll do it for half the cost.
Yeah.
Well, we've got one more break coming up here, so we're going to send it to that. You're listening to the LIBA Business Hour with Lori Fraser today and on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and so much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln or their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by U-Stop and Whitehead Oil.
And we're back for the last segment on the LIBA Business Hour. We're talking with Lori Fraser with Doorstep Diner Catering. So one question I have, because, you're talking to the fat kid, because we're talking food. I'm hungry now. Imagine that. What do you do with the leftovers? How do I get on the list? So when there's some leftovers that you kind of bring them down, maybe give some to Travis, some to Gary. What do you do with the leftovers?
When she needs help at a catering event, you go and you help her cater,
Oh.
and then
Yes.
you get a free meal.
I'll work for
and you
food.
get a few little leftovers to
I'll
take
work
home.
for food.
Yeah. So, when we first started, food insecurity is really near and dear to my heart. There are so many people out there that struggle. I volunteer at the gathering place. I fill the little pantries. I mean, it really has become the core focus of our company is how do we make sure people get food? And yes, in our industry, there is waste. So you have two different kinds of things. You have overcook and you have leftovers. Overcook is when we're cooking something, we're batching it out. It doesn't like if I'm doing a huge pork loin, I got to do the whole thing, but maybe your group isn't going to take the whole thing. So that's overcook. Overcook is something I can use elsewhere because it has not left my kitchen. If I have leftovers, which is actually food that's gone to an event, been served, even though I have been there, I've stored it, it's been legally temped. When I bring it back, that's leftovers. Leftovers, I will not pump out to another client. I won't do it. It's gross. Are there people that do it? Absolutely. We do not. We are prohibited in the city of Lincoln from taking our leftover food and coming down and feeding homeless people. We're prohibited from doing it.
What?
Yep. If you have
It's like a city ordinance.
Oh yeah. If you, let's say, have a big dumpster out back at the end of the day, let's say McDonald's, and you're dumping your food, it is illegal to go dumpsters dive and get that food out and eat it if you are food compromised. You cannot do it. So there is a nonprofit here in Lincoln called To the Brim. It is Lenore Berger. She is absolutely amazing. She carries the insurance and liability that bridges my food getting to the people that need it. So she provides me individual containers when I have overcook or leftovers. I can package up meals. I date them. I write what's in them. I call her. She has a code to my kitchen door. She keys in, she takes it, and she distributes it downtown to places like the 1867 bar, the Mill Coffee Shop, Jake's. And people that need a meal can come in and ask for the chef's meal, and they get a free meal. So that is one thing that we have really
That is cool.
supported. The other one that we just started with is Karen Lamb of Loaves and Fishes. She has run a nonprofit forever feeding the homeless people. So I sometimes will have a full pan that comes back of green beans. I can't do anything with it. I can't make a meal for To the Brim with just green beans. I have to have a protein and a side, but Karen will take my full pans. So we just formed a partnership with her a couple weeks ago where when we have these one-off weird full pans of food, she will actually come and get them because she's doing a service out of a church. I think it's once a week. She feeds people that come in for free. So she's able to take all of those weird one-off things I get. So I have two different avenues in which to give people my food.
That's
now,
awesome.
Does my staff eat it? Yeah, we do. Of course we do.
Sure, absolutely. But I that's so cool that you can, give people something good. This is so funny because I don't know, a handful of months ago, I think Gary was gone, but I had interviewed Kendall Warnock, and he and I grew up the same, really poor. And we were kind of sharing like government cheese and powdered milk recipes and how you take those. I couldn't imagine having a first class meal delivered. Well, not even delivered, but just have a first class meal at my fingertips. So that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
I love that you do that.
Absolutely. I mean, there are some great places like the Gathering Place. I adore them. I volunteer there and I'm on their sub list, and bless their hearts. They have small budgets, really, really small budgets, and they have a lot of people to feed. And as a caterer, I always jump on the protein line because I set the pace because I'm fast. But I will be serving things up and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is a really small portion. This is like, 4 ounces of protein, or this is that, but again, when you aren't being fed and you're hungry, that full complete meal that the Gathering Place puts together, which includes your protein, your carbs, your fruit, a veggie, and a dessert, it is a complete meal that is nutritionally balanced. But I always think, oh my gosh, I want to move in there one day and just do prime rib for everyone, or during Easter, run down there with all my hams and scalloped potatoes and serve everyone. But the need in Lincoln is huge for food. It is huge. I mean, as a former teacher, we saw kids on free and reduced lunch. That number went up and up and up and up every single year. It is so high. And I believe that if you're taking care of your young people, you're taking care of your sick, you're old, you're going to have a really healthy society. And if I can do that through food, I'm going to do it.
Well, if I'm ever down and out and I'm
Yes.
standing out in front of the studio with a will host radio show for food,
Yes.
just stop, give me a meal. I
I will
won't
do
tell
it.
anybody.
I
We're
will
good.
do it. I will do it. I will do it.
I'll help you deliver that. I'm going to bring my Nerf gun though and shoot him with it. But anyway, I would help you with that.
But again, this goes back to buying local.
Yeah,
You know,
it
this
does.
is helping local people.
Mhm.
And it is so important to support local businesses. And that's why I'm glad we get to do this show,
Right.
you know, because we talk about local people, local businesses, and giving back.
Yeah.
So, and the music, how was that for timing? The music, here comes, Fortunate One,
Good
right?
job.
All right.
Stay local. Stay local.
Thanks for your
let's
help
get
today,
the-
Harrison.
Thank you.
Do we want to get
Absolutely.
the website? Oh, no, the website's getting rebuilt.
It's doorstepdiner.com.
Okay,
It'll
there
have
we
the
go.
same URL, doorstepdiner.com.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
Thanks, Lori. It was
Thank
a
you, Lori.
blast.
Thank you.
You're listening to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket. We will see you next week.